because I had a few requests on, you know, the production side of stuff, I decided to show everybody how I produced one of my latest remixes, which is my remix for John O Callaghan's Mess of a Machine. I finished it yesterday, I think. What I'm doing now is I'm fine-tuning it, adding some more effects here and there, doing the mix down, and yeah, so let's go through the project so I can show you how I did this remix. As you can see, I'm in a very lit environment. I'm actually in my living room at the moment. The thing was, when just before, well, some of you know that my dog passed away about 3 weeks ago, and the week before he passed away, he was really sick. So what I did was I moved my monitors downstairs, my Mac downstairs, and the MIDI keyboard, so I could produce music but also keep an eye on him. And I actually enjoyed producing music here, so I stayed here, and I'm still doing it over here. So yeah, it's not the best situation one maybe could be in, but neither is a hotel room or producing on headphones maybe. Everybody has a different way of doing it. So let's go through the project and I'll explain one by one how I did this remix. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible so the movie won't become too long, but we'll see. So here's this basic setup: my MIDI keyboard, which is a key rig from M Audio. My monitors downstairs are the KRK's VXT6, my sound card, which is a Motu 828 MK2. Logic 9 is what I use to produce this remix. I use multiple programs, sometimes Cubase. I've also got Ableton in case I need to do some vocal stretching or stretching in general. So this is the project, Mess of a Machine, Sied van Riel remix. Well, there's actually more to it obviously, but you can't see everything in the shot. So I'll go through it quickly. The top channel is a sidechain input. It's muted on the main mix, so you can't hear it. I use that channel to sidechain most of the sounds, not everything. Sometimes I use this, for instance, to sidechain this. 2 kick drums, high end, low end, squeezed together in a group. We've got the bass line, a bass line that I've rendered as audio. This is a saw. Then we go to one shot, some effects. This is the percussion section. Here we get the breakdown, the vocal, sub bass, 2 layers of strings, and some other sounds. This wave file is a test run of the project to see where the peaks are and how to get rid of them. That's how I do. So what I'm going to show you now is the basic drive of the entire track, so you can see how I created the drive. With the drive I mean the percussion. So we have the kick drum. We add the one shots. That's basically the entire drive of this particular track. What I've cut out of this particular loop is the percussion part of it, and I've filtered it like this, so you'll end up with a bit of mid-low frequencies only, which makes it sound like this together with the bass drum. If I would bypass the EQ, it would sound like this. But that was too obvious, so I EQ'd it, and then you get this. Then we have the claps over here, which are 2 exact same claps, 2 exact same parts. As you can see here, let me widen it up. Oh, that's the wrong one. So we've got the claps here, and as you can see, there's 2 claps. One is panned to the left, the other one is panned to the right. Exactly the same. The only difference is Whoa, 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 whoa. The only difference is when you zoom in, here you can see the marker, which is a kick drum. The kick drum is over here. This clap will start before the kick drum hits, this one just after it. This I've done, and it's a simple trick, probably everybody knows it. This I've done to create a wider stereo image. So without using a stereo enhancer, I've used the claps to basically widen my stereo image. That's one. The other thing I use for stereo imaging, it's kind of, let me see, oh, it's on this channel. It's a delay actually, it's not a stereo enhancer whatsoever. So let me show you how this thing works, because it's really interesting. Instead of using a stereo enhancer, it's a loop which sounds like this. Just for some atmosphere in the background when it comes to drums. So with this stereo sample delay, it sounds really wide, but when I bypass it, so let me play it and bypass so you can hear the difference. Now it goes through the middle. Now it's really wide. This is why I use this thing a lot instead of stereo enhancers. Sorry for that. So yeah, that was the percussion section. Obviously there are sounds in this remix as well. The first major one that attracts the attention is the bass line. And I've made this remix bearing in mind that this bass line should be one of the main sounds in the track. I've created the bass line with the Omnisphere. Let me get the Omnisphere out there. There we go. I've created this bass line with the Omnisphere. There's some flame distortion on it. As you can see, how I did the equalizing is kind of bonkers. Plus 21 dB, and then slowly, it's just a little bit going down over here. But this is what I did to give it more edge in the high end, which makes it sound something like this. This is the exact same bass line as played in the remix. So yeah, have the build up. And then it goes into a drop, and the drop sounds something like this. And that's when the first synth kicks in after the drop. This is the Native Instruments Razor, and I absolutely love this machine. The sound that you hear goes like... It's really simple. Could have easily used it for a melody, I don't know. Didn't do it this way, decided to keep the sound exclusive, and it's only in the track twice. What I've done with it is also quite simple. Just before you hear the sound, there's a reversed part to introduce it quickly, and that goes like this. This is only reverb, and then the sound kicks in. So that's the first synth after the first drop. The drop builds and builds and builds, and after that you get into oh, I need to loop it, then press C. I'll do shortcuts. Then it goes into a part where it's getting a bit housey. I enjoyed creating this because it's different. So you have the main theme bass line that you heard, and then I've rendered some audio from the bass line, which is a different sequence than this one. Added some freaky sounds to it, which makes it sound at this part like this. That's a part that's only a one-off in the entire track. So then we slowly build up. We go into the main breakdown, where you can hear the vocal, obviously, a deep bass, created with the Omnisphere, put a bass amp on it. I automated the tremolo, as you can see. If you look at this button, you can see it going up after a while to create a bit of a different atmosphere. It's a basic tremolo, but it adds that little something. Then we have 2 layers of strings that kick in at this point, that create a lot of atmosphere and depth. And then we have the vocal, obviously, which is the massive thing from the original.
I'm not too young to know what you mean. Am I too old to be free?
Now what I've done with this part is also quite simple. You can see the automation going up. That's a delay that slowly goes up. It's quite dry here. Slowly goes up to 27% wet, where the strings are, so it creates a bit more depth in the stereo image. There's a reverse vocal here. After that part we go into a part where synths kick in, and I like my synths. So the first synth kicks in, and that sounds like this. If you add the second one, then it'll be a lot more bigger, which is a thing I like. The first synth is quite stereo. The second one that kicks in comes straight through the middle and punches you in the face. That's how I always like to say it. So we have this, and then add the second one, makes it sound like this. And then a third one comes, which is kind of different than the rest, and it goes like this. That's the 3 tracks that create the entire wall of sound in this particular remix. After that we go into another break, a small one, because this part where the synths that you just heard, where the synths are playing, is the climax basically, and there's a steady kick drum, and you know, it's that what's the moment? Jump in the air, whatever you call it. Then we go back and it starts building. Yeah, it starts building when the sound is on. So let me get these off solo. And then, oh no, there's another sound on solo. Yes, there is. Then we build up again. And then, you know, it goes into another climax with a big fat drive and a lot of percussion. And then it slowly goes towards the end. This is basically the entire remix. And as you can see here, I've used 50 tracks and 2 automated send channels. Software only. I'm actually mixing it now, so I have to continue with the mixing. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope this shows you how I produce music. I've done it more in the past actually, but not recently, so I thought, why not? I'll just show you how I produced this track. Obviously, there's a lot more to it that I can't show, otherwise the video would be an hour and a half long, maybe even 2. So next time I'll show you a different side of the productions, maybe during the production process where the track is not finished yet. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, you can ask them here. I'll try to answer. I'm not that active on YouTube. I'm more active on Twitter or Facebook. So hope you enjoyed it. Wait till you hear the entire track. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna enjoy it just as much as I did creating it. Yeah, that was it. This was John O Callaghan, Master of a Machine, Sied van Riel remix.